this guy's so cold.
Oh, this is what happened when the husband's gone.
Don't talk over me for a minute.
Check that one out. Check that one out, Charlotte. Look at it bouncing around. So, what advice would I give you?
What are some of the biggest challenges that you face as a rancher in Alaska?
I think back on the years I've been doing this, and there's been many challenges. The biggest challenge in Alaska is trying to make an income off of farming. It's a dying sport in this country already, and with the harsh and long winters, it's even more difficult. Okay, so ostensibly, just trying to make a living ranching pretty much sucks in this state. I wish there was more Alaska governmental support. It's very difficult to get support for farming and ranching in Alaska because Alaska is kind of an energy, oil-driven state. But we need to eat, and that's a huge challenge. So that's a political challenge. But when I think of my challenges, you know, there's icy rivers, and there's times where the tide was high and got hypothermia crossing the river one time, and muddiness, and boats, and pulling cows out of mud holes, and cows falling over bluffs, and horses with broken legs. Everything that the movies are made out of and more. I've lived it. But the biggest challenge is always the interaction with the people you're involved with, whether it's fellow farmers or family members. The stress and the difficulties in finding your gear and your tack and coordinating when you're leaving and somebody forgot something, or the arguments that occur. So in the middle of a very difficult job, you start getting into personal conflicts, by far way and above. That's harder on me than simply solving the physical problems. So those are just challenges that really don't end up going away, because every year you have new players, and you have new players coming and going. You have new conditions that bring up different opinions between people, and the old saying goes, if you have two farmers having a discussion, there will be three opinions. Sometimes I get asked the question why I'm doing this in the first place anyway. What in the heck ever got me started? And I got to think for a minute. I guess I've just grew up on a farm, and you know, it used to be Dad, and then it was my big brother, the cowboy, and that's kind of how progression of farm life is. And at some point, you know, I became good at mechanicking. Then Otts left and went into the Army and came back and got married, and you know, it was time for little brother to step up, I guess. I was used to this lifestyle. I like the lifestyle. I'm familiar with the country living and animals, and somebody had to take over the animals. You know, somebody had to milk the cow. We needed milk. Somebody had to take care of the horses so we could go hunting or bring the cows to the head of the bay. So I don't know that I really just decided I'm going to do this. It's just part of how my life evolved. And there's a lot of times I think what else I'd be doing. There's think, how did I ever get into this? And I don't really know, other than it's the life I lead. Today is an easy day. Sun is out. It's not too cold. It snowed like crazy the last couple days, but winter's almost over. There's my favorite cow Daisy here, her calf. Those are the things that make it all worthwhile. But in the middle of a blizzard, it's really not worthwhile, and you find yourself questioning, what in the hell am I doing? And what could I be doing? And there must be an easier way to exist than this. And then the sun comes out and you get a newborn calf, and voila, you understand it all. So I think back on If you asked me right now, it's like, tell me a story. It's hard for me to bring them up at will, but things that stick out is when I got my first herd of my own. And Dog and Judy and I and George Ripley and 5, 6 of us, and we went out to buy a herd of cows on Pearl Island. That was my first personal herd. You know, I took care of the farm. Dad had horses, Dad had cows, and we butchered. But then after Mom and Dad got divorced and Dad kind of lost some enthusiasm, the farm just kind of existed. And then I decided, I heard there was Harley Hess. I heard Harley Hess was getting rid of his animals, and I said, wow, an opportunity. So George and I went into partners and we took the Nanook. Alex Flim had the Nanook then, and we went out to Pearl Island and gathered those cows up, and we came back. And what stands out, okay, is coming back in the middle of the night on the Nanook, and the phosphorescence was in the water, cows were in the front, it was calm, the northern lights were out, and it was just this moment that just is when you feel one with the universe, nature, your purpose. That stands out tremendously. There's others, and they almost all have to do with an exponentially difficult kind of chore, an expedition, an adventure, and then something absolutely magnificent and meaningful comes out of it. And so maybe that's why I cling to this lifestyle, because every day there's an opportunity for something really cool to happen in the middle of a pile of crap. There's no way to explain the joy and the love you feel for a newborn calf on a spring sunny day, right? And conversely, there's no way to explain the unfunness you feel at heading into a long, cold, dark winter. It's something that you're just really never prepared for. It's probably like giving birth. You know you're going to have a baby, but you aren't really prepared for the pain, the birth, the diaper changing, all that goes with it. You know, you're not ready for that. But I guess there's enough joy coming out of the summer and the people I surround with and the really close, dear friends that continue to share my lifestyle that I just treasure. That takes it all away. And then suddenly there you are at the edge of a long, dark, cold winter, and you just kind of hope you got your shit together, because here she comes. So I often get asked for advice. So what advice would I give you if you want to get started ranching in Alaska? What do you need to get started? Well, I've seen a lot of people come and go, and there's, I think, one thing that I could get a point to what would not work if I could go there for a minute. You know, let's go to the positive. What do you need? Now I'm going to go back and go to the negative. Unless you are the type of a person, such as I feel like my dear wife Charlotte is, and a few close friends, that can really roll with the punches, you ain't cut out for this. Unless, you know, if you are the kind of a person that goes by calendars, if you're the kind of a person that gets up in the morning and makes lists and expects to get them all done that day, if you're the kind of a person that needs to have things neat and clean all the time, if you're the kind of a person that has opinions about other people, if you're the kind of a person that needs to be in charge, this might not be the right lifestyle for you. The kind of a person, the advice is, you know, you need to be flexible. You need to change complete course in a sudden disaster. You need to be able to be accepting of different opinions and personality types, different political persuasions. You need to be able to totally be accepting of what's being thrown at you in any minute. So if you're not ready to wake up in the middle of the night and change some baby diapers because they suddenly got sick, you're probably not the right person to do this. In summation, if you were going to try to follow in my footsteps, you better be inventive, resilient, accepting, able to change course at any minute, and find a way to have a happy song in your soul every morning, no matter how bad the weather is.
Several hours have passed and Charlotte has found herself in a tricky situation. Otto has gone off to town and one of the cows, Freckles, ended up having a calf. Charlotte, all alone, is put in a situation where she has to move this baby calf to a safe place all on her own.
Just trying to homestead over here while other people are at the Chamber of Commerce. I'm gonna put the baby in the sled and try to get it into the shed. I can't lift it up by myself. So here we go. Come on, Mama. Little thing on its way into a mud puddle. Gotta get it over here into the shed. Oh, this is what happened when the husband's gone. All right, almost into the shed. I got the baby up into the shed. She had it over in the hay where she was eating, and then I think she nudged it down into a mud puddle because it wasn't standing up. So that's where I found it, in a horrible mud puddle. And Freckle has calves that sometimes have trouble with their feet for the first few hours, sometimes even a little longer. They have problems standing up. I think that's what's going on here, is it's got a little bit of a genetic deal going on where their feet are just kind of weird. So got it into the shed. I'm going to dry it off, get some fresh hay in here. Freckle's been spending the last 10 days in this shed at night because we thought that she was going to have this calf. And then Otto let her out early this morning because she hadn't had it. And then she went and had it in the mud. So anyway, I got her back into the shed now. Baby's in the shed. We can dry it off and see if we can get it nursing. I've got the little calf under a sleeping bag. I'm laying here with it, trying to warm it up. Waiting for Otto so we can stand it up and see if we can get it to nurse.
Okay, are you here?
Otto, I'm glad you're home.
You glad I'm home?
Yeah.
Oh, honey, you're the best. Hey, Freckle.
So I think she had her calf probably as soon as you let her out this morning.
You know, she was standing right over here this morning outside the skin shed, and I'm thinking, that's weird. I wonder if she's looking for a place to have her calf. And sometimes I wonder if, you know, they already have in mind where they're going to have it, and then you put them in a protected area and they're going, nope. It's almost like that. What are you doing now?
Well, this guy's so cold. So I think she had it over in the hay, and then she licks
Oh.
it. So don't talk over me for a minute, because anyway, do you mind? So I could see her, she licks it so vigorously, she almost flops it over like she was probably trying to get it to stand up, and she licked it all the way into that horrible mud puddle over there by their water trough.
Oh my.
So Anyway, I got it into a sled and got it in here, but it can't stand up very well. And so I was waiting for you to get home so we could try standing it up. It's just, and then see if we can get it nursing. And she's interested in it, but I think it just can't stand up, and then it just is so cold and shivering. So I was.
Oh my
trying to warm it
God,
up.
that's so sweet. What a gal. I'll tell you what.
Anyway, should we try to stand it up then? And
I guess we better, huh?
yeah, I feel like just with extra strength, I just couldn't do it myself.
Okay, give me a minute.
That looks great, Otto.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took those down to put it in the other corral for the other mama, but got too cold in this one now.
Now we need it here, huh?
But I love having those holes in it. Makes
Yeah,
it really
that's just
handy.
about a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it down a little more so that it'll attach. A little less wind going underneath it.
Nice. Well, I'm glad to see this baby's getting its act together.
Little feller. Yeah, it's actually jumping around a little bit.
It's a whole different animal than what I found in the mud puddle. But it needs,
different animal, so to speak.
yep, needs milk though. Uh-oh,
Yeah,
just fell back down.
maybe I should milk her. Hey, check that one out. Check that one out, Charlotte. Look at it bouncing around.
Hi, Goof. Well, he's trying to, or she's trying to figure it out. Come on.
Should I go try to stick it in there?
Yep. Want me to hold the head steadier?
Got it, got it, got it, got it.
Nice.
Got it,
All right.
got it. Way to go, girl. Woo! Isn't it amazing how some just learn just so quickly and they know where to go and they just know how to grab it, that big old long thing hanging down. And others just fumble and fumble and fumble. Wow. Well,
So it's almost success, or it is success.
well, thanks to you. You're just the doggonest farm girl I've ever met, honey.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay. One moment of success with the farmers here, huh? Thanks for being with us on this little deal. I know sometimes it may seem boring, and to you, hopefully it doesn't, but you know what keeps us going is the animals, the calves, and you. I mean, feeling like we can contribute to our friends and our viewers and share our happiness with these little moments with you is an important thing, isn't it? Yeah. Glad you're here. Stay with us.